U.S. wants Iran to do in terms of their nuclear sites? So, what we know from the proposal the United States presented to the Iranian negotiators 2 weeks ago, this was from Steve Witkoff, the envoy who transmitted it through a middleman at Oman, their foreign minister to the Iranians, that they just don't want Iran to have enrichment of nuclear fuel, period, even if it was for civilian purposes. The many different options laid out in that proposal really were focused on this idea of restricting Iran's ability to enrich nuclear fuel, even at low levels. They have been enriching up to 60%, close to 90%, which is weapons grade. And so that was really the heart of the proposal. We know the United States put forward. They needed many different options there. We aren't quite sure yet. I reached out to Steve Witkoff, as I'm sure every other reporter in Washington is doing right now, to say, is the plan still on and is that deal still on the table? We just don't know what this will do to the diplomacy, but it certainly shows that this offer was backed up by the credible threat of force. Now, does this mean that there won't be further action by the United States down the line? We don't know. Destroying this entire program is very complicated.
All right, real quick, put a gun emoji in the chat if you feel like we finna go to World War III. Put a brain emoji in the chat if y'all feel like it's not finna be that serious. All right, Mickey Westbrook.
Yeah, so look, and I just want to say this before she says Mickey. My goodness gracious, child. No, but he also said Mickey. Thank you. It's okay. So the point that I wanted to make, Lou, this is classic U.S. subterfuge, right? If anybody is familiar with anything that this country does, you already know that we throw the rock and we hide our hand, to quote Brother Daquan in the chat, right? We give the guys to the world of being the good, kind, and benevolent United States. We don't want anything to go down. We're in negotiations, right? But then meanwhile, Netanyahu, Israel, has to tell us all the shit, just like with that Qatari jet, right? Remember, Trump was like, oh, they wanted to give me the jet. And then the Qataris were like, hell no, you asked for that shit. Don't be putting that on us. I think that, this is just typical U.S. propaganda, right? I love my country, but this is what the fuck we do, which is why I knew that whether it's Trump or Nixon or Obama or Reagan or it would have been Kamala Harris, same bullshit, same bullshit, same bullshit. Of course we fucking know. We're, like you said, Lou, we're controlling the strings, right? Everybody thinks that they run us. We're the ones giving the money. We're the ones making the decision. Like I said, I stand by it, which they even acknowledge. What did Trump say? I want peace, but they can't have these weapons. I want peace, but Israel can't get to those underground bunkers and the United States can. Israel is probably our number one ally right now, according to this administration, even more so than Canada. So you know goddamn well that we would jump in to help our old buddies, just like we did with the French in Vietnam. Do you really think we invaded half of the damn countries that we did because of us? It was quid pro quo. So I stand on what I said, and we literally just heard it from Donald Trump and the reporter.
If I may, so real quick, Nikki has no clue what she's talking about.
After this, I'm doing breaking news.
And those who agree with her equally are daft when it comes to geopolitics. The reports, all the reports Luke just played, said what specifically? Nowhere did I argue the U.S. was not addressing this. It was on X that U.S. dependents, U.S. personnel were encouraged to leave certain Middle East regions. That was on X for the past 3 days. So it's on X, of course, the U.S. government knows. Nowhere did I argue that. My argument was this. The Trump administration wanted no part in an attack on Iran because they are pursuing a quote-unquote diplomatic agreement. They're still doing that. They have a representative going there on Saturday. When Trump was there in May, when he met with Qatar, Saudi Arabia, I forget the last, Syria. When he met with the various countries there, this was on the docket, where Trump again reaffirmed his commitment to seeking a diplomatic solution to this the nuclear proliferation with Iran. We just heard from the reports, Marco Rubio, they didn't give any support, intelligence, military, whatever the case might be. Trump has told you since he's gotten office, if they do not satisfy whatever standard he has to meet with an agreement, the diplomatic pursuits, then there will be a strike, spearheaded by the U.S. Like they said, Israel didn't even have the full capability to take out their nuclear weapons. This has been the policy. We've seen this. Trump ignored Israel into the Middle East. I don't know what the confusion is. Of course the U.S. knew. I would imagine Britain, most countries, Western countries knew. So to say she's right because of that, again, it just shows like a lack of political understanding. Of course they knew. The question is, did they cooperate in any fashion? They explicitly didn't. Netanyahu is trying to collect any peace agreement because he doesn't want it. Since he's been in office, his greater mission was to take out Iran. Since he's been in office, and you can slowly see his foreign policy echoing this. First was taking out Hezbollah in Syria, saying, "Oh, Iran's finances, so we ultimately have to go after Iran." Israel tried to bomb. They bombed Iran a couple months ago, and Iran shot some missiles. So we know this is what Netanyahu's been doing. But Trump has cut them out. Trump met with Hamas, his representatives. Anyway, I mean, this is Clubhouse. I don't know.
Wait, we got to make a point. Just, all right.
Well, I'm personal. I can't
say something. This is Clubhouse.
I know I'm going to say what I'm going to say. This is Clubhouse. I don't expect people to have very nuanced understanding of geopolitics. And it's all good.
Being from Africa doesn't mean that you understand geopolitics. We literally heard it from Trump. We literally heard it from the reporters. Only you're the one that believes that the U.S. is benevolent and kind because you needed that to get your passport in order, since you wanted to slightly skirt around your little insult. So I get it. The United States is, oh, I love the United States. It's such a wonderful country, because you don't want to go back to your country. But you please trust and believe that Americans, especially Black Americans, know every single goddamn thing this country is capable of. Okay? So, anywho, look, who is this weirdo streaming your room? Somebody is literally streaming your room, Lou. Like, what is going on? Why is this person streaming Lou's room? Y'all go in there and cuss him out, because why are they streaming? This dude is streaming Lou's room. What's weird? No, it says Doge MAGA or something.
So,
Doge MAGA's house is streaming Lou's room. Why are you streaming this room, you weirdo?
So, hey, Lou, they've been doing their job.
Let's pass the microphone.
Wait, hold on. Let's pass this. Sergeant, what's up, brother? How do you feel about the video I just played? They wrote down the details that Yahoo just spoke on. Matter of fact, the White House just released something. This statement from Secretary Marco Rubio. He quoted, "Tonight, Israel took unilateral actions against Iran. We are not involved in any strikes against Iran, and our top priority is to protect the American forces in that region. Israel advised us that they believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. Wait, hold on. Let me be clear. Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel." Now listen.
I rest my case.
It's a practice that you can read in between that statement also says.
Am I gonna speak? Was that directed to me?
Yes, Sergeant. Wait, let D clarify, and then you can go, Sergeant.
That statement doesn't say that they don't support the strikes. It said that they support it. They just don't want to be involved in having casualties back on those forces.
Unilateral decision. What is unilateral? Unilateral decision.
Why are you taking, bro? You really taking I don't get you, D. You be real technical when it's a big argument, and then they're full of shit.
I don't know what else you all want. They literally, what I'm saying to you is, nowhere in the world has Trump been bashful about asserting his dominance, particularly militarily speaking. So I don't see the anomaly. In this case, why is he full-throatedly, like Alex, our number one ally? Why is he going to say,
hold on, man, I'm asking you,
Like,
They made a, you know,
I'm asking you this question.
why are they saying that? I'm like,
Yeah, I follow you. Keep saying something. All right, Spartan, do you think this will end?
I could go first since I mean.
Hold on.
okay,
Hold
he
on.
said I can go.
Hold on, let me do the TikTok thing, because TikTok do this thing where, how old are you? Who do you vote for? And how you feel about the topic? Spartan, you want to? Oh, and do you?
I'm very comfortable. I say my age all the time.
No, you got to say that. I was joking.
I don't care. I'm proud of it. I'm 45 years old. I'm born in November 1979. I am traditionally.
November what? We checking signs. November what?
I'm telling you, I'm a Scorpio though. Just know that. Okay? But I do tend to lean left. I'm not gonna say who I vote for. I'm not gonna pick Democrat or Republican because I think that those titles are totally like skewed and perverted now. But I am gonna say that I lean left. I lean left physically. I lean left socially, and I'm totally comfortable discussing and talking about either of those positions in detail. But anyway, so what I wanted to say was, as far as chaotic, I think that her logic and her breakdown of these things, I'm gonna be honest with you, people can get mad, I found no flaw. At times I've disagreed, and in the end, it's been what it's been. So I have to say that. However, at the same time, like, I want to say, I get what you're saying, Dean. As of right now, and this is, you guys, this isn't an anomaly for Trump. It is, Dean. But you have to understand that we're reading between the lines. But clearly, yes, Trump usually is full-throated, ignorant, a fool. He just bursts out and says anything, even if it is politically, like anathema for his own self. He will say anything. I get it. So I get your argument. And I'm not even going to say you're feeling, because I don't believe you really feel it. I think you're arguing it because you can. But the truth is, this does differ from his normal stance. However, if we kind of step back, completely antiseptic, completely objective, clean off all your feelings, wipe them off, take a minute, wipe them off, look at everything. This is America's MO. This is what America does. Somehow, some way, I am more inclined to believe that someone got this dumb clown fucker in line to go with America's a century of behavior. Someone got Trump to act right in this one case. That's what I believe. This is America's MO. Okay.
No, keep going. You can't repeat it.
Okay, no, that's all I wanted to say. So that's what I wanted to say. I get what Dean is saying. If we were just in a court of law, or we were strictly talking about, like, laws, I get, yeah, you're saying, well, Trump is always, this is the fact, Trump has always been full-throated. It doesn't matter how, unpopular, it doesn't matter how aggressive, how right-winged, how ignorant, whatever he's saying, he'll just bust out his motherfucking mouth and say it, and doesn't care about anybody. I agree with that. And then you're basically, next you're saying, so why in this case would he deviate from that? So, chaotic is not even bothering to argue that. Like, she's way far off it. That don't make no motherfucking sense. And I get that. But I'm trying to be in the middle to, like, bridge and say, we hear that, and we understand that logically, but come on now. After what we've seen today, the things that Lou has read, the things that folks have posted, it is very clear that this is standard American behavior. Trump's statement that was read today, like we didn't know about it, but we Biden could have said it. Obama could have said it. Any president could have said it. That is standard American behavior. I don't know what they did or what they said to Trump to make him kind of fall in line for this night, but I just think it's happened. But I'm okay if no one agrees with me. I am not going to troll. I'm not going to cuss anyone out. I'm not going to call anyone names tonight. Okay, Lou? So thank you for being good. Being good.
May I speak, Lou?
Let's switch it up.
Yeah, go ahead. So the number one issue, the number one loser in all of this has to be Iran. You have, nuclear sites being targeted, economic collapse due to sanctions, domestic unrest, regional influence within the region, Syria, Iraq, weakening. Then you have Israel. Israel's not, of the bandwagon of problems. Right now, we have a situation in Gaza. They're in war with innocent Palestinians right now, right? And they're the bad guys. You've got proxies by Hezbollah and Houthis. You've got civilian casualties in Gaza. You've got economic pressure. 20% of this, 30% of its GDP is down, right? And you've got more isolation in terms of global partners such as the United States, Spain, and America going against the prolonged war in Gaza, and now in Iran, right, which majority of Americans disagree with. Then, the third player that nobody seems to be talking about is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has the second largest oil deposits in the world, right? If these oil refineries are targeted by Iranian proxies such as the Houthis or Iran themselves, right? Oil prices could be $125 dollars per barrel, which means a gallon you're going to have to pay an average American.
Can we let him finish, please? He's making a point.
The average American, right? And we're all, majority of individuals on Clubhouse are average Americans, let's be honest, statistically speaking, right? They're going to be losing. Because imagine, you going into a gas station and you already having issues with unemployment. You already having issues to feed your family. And now gas prices are $10 a gallon. How are you going to survive? Food prices will then go up because of transport. Electricity prices will go up. Basic life, as you know it, will be harder. So we need to understand, how is the normal American going to survive? How are the veterans, right, who just came back from Iraq and Afghanistan, gonna be funneled into a new war with Iran, which is a totally different kind of beast? These guys are precision missiles. We've seen it when they struck Israel, one of the most secure places in the world with an iron dome. If Israel strikes Iran, which has done, Iran has every legitimate right, since they do not have anything to lose as of now, to strike any U.S. embassies, to strike all the oil refineries in the Gulf regions, and that alone would suffocate the U.S. economy, the world economy, because 20% of the world's traffic, of the global economic traffic, goes through the Strait of Hormuz. That's where the world's energy comes from. And it will just mean the normal day American would suffer. Forget about Iran, forget about Syria. We're talking about America, a country that you care about. So I live in
All right, hold on, brothers. All right, hold on real quick, because
so everybody's gonna be affected by this, whether you like it.
And then I'm gonna play this clip of updates of what's going on.
All I'm saying, already there's poverty. Already there's
Wait, let's not do all that. Wait, hold on, bro.
no, there's poverty, sir. There's poverty in this room. Yesterday, a female.
I don't want to talk talk about no poverty, bro.
Look, I'm gonna land my plane, my dear brother. Right?
Yeah, how are you talking about poverty with thousands of dollars worth of art in your PTR? I don't understand.
First
I
of
know
all,
where that.
I went to a gallery.
Hey,
I know where that is.
let's move on.
Yo, you might don't be immature. Let me quickly land.
Hey, Brian, bro, anybody come on stage, I'm shooting y'all trolling. If all you niggas bring on stage is ad-lib, I'm shooting you. I'm not doing it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bro, no, thank you, brother. The conversation over. We're gonna reset the room.
So you know what? Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go back to them. You guys wanna listen. This is not
Mashallah.
alright. And that's why I like all them succeed. But
No, he didn't.
Get your funky ass down. Alright. Alright, real quick,
Well, that didn't take much, dude.
so we let him talk for 5 minutes, and as soon as we say, alright, we're gonna move the mic, fuck you niggers. Shit,
That's why I interrupted him, bro. I know him.
It don't matter. I just shoot him as soon as he said something. Alright, let me play this updated clip. Damn, my phone freezing. Oh, give me a sec.
Hey, before we play the clip, bro, hey, we gave up the marking of death for Brittany Griner.
What they gotta do with this?
He was gonna get out in a few years.
Elected, bro. Elected.
He was gonna get out in a few years. We just upped the schedule. That's it. Goodness gracious.
He got out at the perfect time, though.
Wait, but this ain't got nothing to do with.
I heard it.
That's Russia. Russia is literally fighting for his life. Russia, Putin is not a threat. Come on.
That's a connection. Like Russia is Iran's biggest ally.
What does that got to do with the merchant of death? Like,
Because he in there making moves. My man, you know it's connected.
U.S. citizens.
They probably put a tracker in that man's head. Come on now.
alright, real quick. Alright, let's reset the room. Alright, it's kind of connected. Alright, so Israel bombs Iran. We just played a clip of Benjamin Netanyahu. He said that there's not going to be another Holocaust 80 years ago. They're proactive instead of reactive. We're not going to wait till they build the nuclear weapons. We're going to just destroy it. Trump, the White House came out and said that they don't have nothing to do with it, but they did advise them before they did the attack. They just warned that there better not be any U.S. personnel that dies.
For years, the Iranian regime has called for the destruction of the state of Israel, planning and advancing concrete military plans for the same. Over the past few months, intelligence has shown that Iran is closer than ever to obtaining a nuclear weapon. This morning, the IDF began preemptive and precise strikes, targeting the Iranian nuclear program in order to prevent the Iranian regime's ability to build a nuclear bomb in the immediate time frame. We have no choice. We are operating against an imminent and existential threat. We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world. This operation is for our right to exist here, for our future, and for our children's future. The State of Israel has the right and the obligation to operate in order to protect its people, and will continue to do so. The IDF conducted significant preparations for this operation. We are well prepared, both in defense and offense, to defend ourselves. The IDF will continue to defend the State of Israel. For years, the Iranian regime has called for the...
Somebody's starving the people of Gaza.
Nothing. Iran has been. Israel took out a lot of infrastructure in Tehran. Yeah, so like Iran is going to respond. If you live in Israel or you bought tickets to go to Israel, you bought at the wrong time to get that LL flight, buddy. Yeah, they said that there could be nuclear contamination and fallout on CBS News. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Shit. It's like a zit, you know, and it's like ants in an ant hill. Have you ever like kicked over an ant hill or sprayed a bunch of ants? Well, that's what I'm saying. It's neither good nor bad. It's just one more fucking, you know.
Response underway by the U.S. right now in light of the Israeli efforts. All right, Sam, ready to grab. Thank you.
Alright, further proof of my point.
Okay, alright, real quick, cause you know, let's say like other people get involved. I don't know. I mean, I think the only way cause Trump is talking about keeping peace and stuff, but the only way America will get involved if our military bases get hit over there, if our military personnel get hit, or some domestic, something happens domestically in the United States.
I think we treat them just like the snitcher and the whistleblower that he actually is. I like to say this to you all that if I were in the position of Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan, I'd be treating him just like the spy, the whistleblower, and the snitcher that he is, and treat him with a long handled spoon, as our president Ibrahim Traore don't even try to meet with the guy. Because he saw it. The only thing he tried to do is set you up. You can't see him because you don't think goes up to the mindset. That's all. A guy like Trump, Netanyahu, what's this guy? What's the Secretary of State? The Secretary of State. You gonna welcome him in your place? I just don't think so. I really don't think so. Master, deceiver. When he said no war, he coming for war. When he said peace, he coming for war. When he said war, he trying to negotiate peace. He has reverse psychology. He's a trickster, never to be trusted. Ibrahim Traore don't trust his master. He met with Vladimir one day. Trump said my friend Vladimir, then he said no more war and all that. And he ain't doing nothing but stirring up a bunch of war. He can't even stop the war. President that was on Saturday. Russia and San Antonio, Texas, visit the other day. He ain't got to stop the war.
A quick question.
A bunch of confusion to control the melanated people is all they about. And pushing them some blonde hair, blue eyes up the middle. As soon as you get into it, the more advanced you'll be and say, my.
I agree, sir.
I
want to ask
the next
Wait, hold on, real quick before I hand go.
I promise.
I'll let hand go.
Okay, these are questions. I just want to know, do y'all understand why Israel, who has nuclear power, and Iran, why Israel would be attacking Iran right now? And meanwhile, I want you to rest in the fact that Israel has the complete backing of basically the Western world, specifically the U.S. Do you understand that? I want you to think about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been going on. I don't know why I just suddenly wanted to make sure that we all understood why this would be happening.
Are you trying to find
Whatever it is,
So, we're not doing any personal attacks, we're not doing conspiracy theories about who controls the world and all of this. We're going to stick to the topic. We're going to talk about Trump versus.
Okay, my bad.
I was talking about you. You wasn't doing that. I put a one in the chat if you're an Israeli. Any Israelis in here? Any Israelis? Okay, we got. Okay, that's nice for Israelis. All right. Okay. Let's talk to the Israeli on stage. I can't read your name. Is it Ariel? That's my boy Ariel. What's up, bro? Okay, so Ariel is a black American Israeli. He's from Detroit, but he moved to Israel. He moved to Israel for Aliyah. How you say that thing? Is that correct? Aliyah. And he's now a Israeli citizen, and he's also an Orthodox Jew. He's a good brother. What's currently going on in Israel? And do you agree with the attack that's going on currently?
100%. And what people are having the hard time accepting is the reason why this is going on. Because when I say October 7th, I'm not talking about the October that just passed. I'm talking about October 7th, 2001.
Yes.
The American government bombed Afghanistan, giving a horrible blow to Al Qaeda and also the Taliban. And we know for a fact that Iran is proxy of the tiny people who are trying to corner the same. They focus on what they said, which is America. So there's more good Americans and we were in jail. I forgot to show you his last name. But Mohammed, what is it called? Trump on X right now. We just killed him in a strike. You know, just there. One of his, what is his name? I'm looking for it right now.
He's the Iranian Revolutionary Guard.
Yeah.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi? No, that was
Mohammed,
Bagheri.
Yeah, he's out of here.
Yeah, he's the chief of staff of Iranian armed forces. Yes, he's got killed.
Yeah,
Question.
so,
Hurry up.
yes, sir.
Let me land first, bro. For you, quick questions.
But yeah, it's just war. We're going back and forth, and we already got the upper hand right now, so it's a wrap in the next.
Okay. Hey, hold on, wait. Can you start out how this black American will be everywhere? We out there in Canada. I hear Negroes in Nova Scotia, Bahia, Sri Lanka. We got a black American Israelis. Then we got a black American rabbi on stage. Oh, damn, where you go? You left? Yeah, I was gonna pass the mic to bro.
Yes, sir.
Are you an active member of the IDF?
No, sir, I'm not.
Why not?
Really, Dean?
Oh my God.
Why you going wrong? What's going on with you?
I'm not still.
Well, no, he has quite the vigor when it comes to his patriotism for his country, and I'm wondering if his rhetoric meets his action. I think it's a genuine, legitimate question.
This is a personal attack.
Wait. Hold on. You're Pan-African, but you live in Utah.
You don't hear me come on stage talking about we killed this person, and I think it's a legitimate question. If you don't think so,
You ain't bragging about how we
notice how the Northern Nigeria has always
Hold on, look, it's good.
it's a legitimate question.
I did, sir. Is what you would call to, I guess it would be border patrol. What do you got, sir?
I'm sorry. Why did you start with the mention of Afghanistan specifically when you started speaking?
Because this is Iran is practicing all these people because of what America did to the Taliban during the war on terror under the Bush administration. Which is why, if you guys remember, on October 8th, the Taliban sent a call out across the Muslim world to allow them to march on Jerusalem. They tried to get involved with this, since nobody likes the Taliban, they just ignored it.
Does the same apply to Al Qaeda?
Beg your pardon?
Does the same apply to Al Qaeda?
I mean, I don't know what Al Qaeda is saying in the Muslim world. I just know that everybody in the Muslim world is arguing about who wants to be the first to kill us.
Okay, well, just build. Does the United States feel Al Qaeda as an individual?
Oh, of course.
Did the state of Israel part of their apparatus to improve the intelligence that was with Al Qaeda?
I mean, you would have to ask somebody who's in great intelligence.
There's videos out there that say that the state of Israel provided
That's correct. Mossad coordinated with Al Qaeda to provide support to Al Qaeda. That is correct. That's a known fact.
But again, I'm curious on why it's a known fact. Just because it's a known fact, I mean, unless any of us are in Israeli intelligence, we can go by what we see on the internet, which is
There's a video of the father.
I understand, sir. I understand that there's a video, but we can go by the internet, which is never wrong. It has never been wrong. Never will be wrong. But we can ask somebody who is inside Israeli intelligence.
Well, I'm just curious. One second. I was just curious at that point because you started mentioning or hinting to the war on terror, but understanding that Israel had been in supporting enemies of the war on terror that the United States fought against. I was just interested in what the table saying when you started there.
Based upon a video that she saw on the internet, which is 100%.
No. I moved on from the video. I remember the table saying when you started speaking at that point about Afghanistan and the enemies of the United States in reference.
Well, it won't even let me click on the gifts. And the gifts are gonna pop up. It's weird. So it goes straight to sound.
Let me try to break it up a little bit.
Before you see, why are y'all saying that he's compromised when he's literally an Israeli citizen living in Israel? It's a war. Why?
Yeah, but they just said that, we didn't help Israel and asked the Iranians not to attack them.
And signing this thing called the
embassy or whatsoever.
I mean, there's plenty of Americans in Israel, so I mean, basically, any attack on Israel, Trump's going to think as an attack on America, right? I mean, he's going to respond, so they do so. I'd imagine.
What has happened, Iran is going to hit back definitely, and it's going to be much harder. Not the last time, I guess, because what can I see? From what can I see, I can just tell that the hit back is going to be so hard.
I think the IRGC is sitting down right now.
Exactly.
They have already took off all the air defense within and now they are just going around, hey, who is going to get the highest score? They just go around and pick and choose and destroy. So there's nothing left for IRGC to fight back.
It's hard to tell because, Iran, they have lots of missiles and lots of, war tools that is under the ground. And, they're just going to take it out and try to, respond with as much as many as they can, I guess. And it's something natural because I would say, Iran and Israel have been enemy for at least 40 years. And this is the time that they're going to go face to face. And, I think Iran is going to take this opportunity to kind of justify what they wanted before. And it's going to...
Except they're not, because their nuclear program is about to be set back for 30 years.
No, Iran would have never attack Israel with nuclear missiles.
Yeah, right. you don't think that they would have attacked Israel with nuclear missiles? Really?
They would not. They would really not, because they're afraid of what will happen to their...
Is anybody else laughing with me? I don't know. This is fucking hilarious.
No, I'm pretty sure that the regime is pretty suicidal. I don't think anybody would rule out that.
They are, but the thing is, the benefits for them it's always not to, because it's going to have them to face all the countries worldwide. And the thing is, they only gaslighted and they threaten Israel because it's nature of the war debate. When we Persians we say this means when there's an argument, no one is giving out sweets.
Yeah, but Iran is the mother of the Octobers, the tactical of the...
No one denies that, dude. No one denies that. Yeah.
So if you want to see for Israel, there is no point to keep fighting.
there's only one solution: long-term peace. Long-term peace is to take out Shiite, right? So there's no more competition who is the leader of Islamic nation. Take out Shiite, yeah, but you can't do that because Shia. I would say that Iran is a Shias built out through the Middle East, and right now in India we have about 200 million Shias. Just like how long they don't have weapons? Like saying you cannot yeah, but India will not become like Iran, right? Organize with the money, selling oil to organize all the proxy to attack and surround Israel.
We're a tech-enabled platform that drive tourism to Israel. So what I'm telling you is, what you don't know about tourism, and what you don't know about the massive amount of diplomacy that tourism brings. You think tourism in the terms of just trade relationships with other countries, you're woefully mistaken. Tourism is less about trade in dollars, and it's more about diplomacy. It's how countries are able to engage in diplomatic relationships with each other and extends leaves of goodwill and well wishes between each other without having to constantly harness conflict and like bad ill wishes to each other. It's literally tourism that keeps these countries together. So you're a little short-sighted when your perspective of tourism and how vitally important it is between Israel and its neighbors. This was a major component of the Abraham Accords under the first Trump administration. Tourism.
So if I understand you correctly, somebody who lives here works within government, you're short-sighted in comparison to somebody who doesn't live here and talks with somebody.
Based on the solution you just gave, that tourism is peanuts.
Hold on, sir. So the person who lives here and says who works in the government, you're short-sighted in comparison to somebody who doesn't live here and talks with someone in regards to their tech business and through tourism. Is that correct?
So you said you work in government. What capacity do you work in government?
I'm not going to disclose that.
Well, then you don't have any authority to claim you work in government if you can't disclose. I don't even know why you brought that up. If you can't disclose what capacity you work in government. So no. Let me finish now. You asked me a question. Let me finish. I don't credit your claim that you work in government. That are lawyers for the ultra t-shirt.
It's gone.
I'm giving you an actual person with a name and a title that works in the highest echelons.
All I know is he's here right now underground somewhere.
And I'm telling
fucking
you
life if he's
that
not
the
already dead.
sentiment on
So, and if he did get killed in the strike, they're not going to come out right away and say it. That's for sure.
Dude, you wish. I mean, the only people.
I wish. Why would I wish? What do you mean I wish? I mean, we're hoping for it, not wishing. Yeah, I hope you're also hoping for it too, being an Iranian.
Of course, but what I'm trying to.
So what, do you think it's like impossible for this guy to get killed? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex, didn't you hear Benjamin Netanyahu say that the liberation of the Iranian people is at hand and that they should have cause to joy and celebrate? I mean, Netanyahu's going to liberate all the Iranians from these crazy Ayatollah Khomeini and these radical Muslim terrorists. It's all over. They're mafia chief. It's all finished.
I understand, but as a person who has more than like $2 billion or $3 billion just for himself, he has so much to protect himself. Trust me, so much. And the only thing that's happening, which is good, is the top commander-in-chief, top commander-in-chief for war, for the army and everything, they're being taken out, but at the end of the day, doesn't expect to kill them as someone else.
Just from not Khomeini or any television that they can substitute that. But it's not going to be interesting. You're not going to see that. They're all going to be attacks. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be very minimal. You're not going to see anything that's right of Russia. Very minimal. And honestly, this is the only reports that we're seeing right now, Russia, which is just very small it's every culture. When we actually get to see this wide picture of actually what things about and what happened tonight, then maybe we'll get an understanding. If we do get to see that, if Iran allows people to let that information come out on the internet, which it seems like everybody's posting everywhere about it anyway. Like I said, they took out Nasrallah and Hezbollah, and shortly after they took him out, and a lot of top officials after him in the world. I mean, they were very quiet. They were very quiet. They didn't do anything. They were shooting rockets like crazy into Israel before that. Now that it's dead, we don't see any rockets anymore.
To Russia with the Black Sea.
Of course you can. He was hiding underground just like I'm sure Khomeini is doing the same thing.
You know, the thing is, like, 100 meter underground is almost really different from 400 meters underground. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm saying it really needs so much intel so they could really do their job.
What do you think about the nuclear facility? Do you think there's going to be nuclear contamination, like a Chernobyl type event?
No, I'm not sure because, you know, I'm not really knowledgeable about this, but I hope not because it's just going to hurt the population.
دلم برات خیلی تنگ شده.
I'm just shocked because, like, I remember for years on this app, we met so many Iranian people like, Israel needs to do this, Israel needs to do that. And then when Israel finally does something, you have a guy like Alex on here saying that it's not enough or that it was bad or whatever Alex is saying.
It's not enough.
Have you ever seen the Ayatollah Khomeini's YouTube channel? Like all these beautiful emeralds, he's in some weird sarcophagus. They're looking through the holy scriptures. It's the weirdest videos I've ever seen in my life. Have you ever seen the Ayatollah Khomeini videos?
I've seen him, yeah, very weird shit.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures portraits that he has some things. But besides that, I'm not interested.
Top 4 figures were killed in Israeli strikes. General Hussein Soleimani, head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. General Ghulam Rashid, senior military strategist. Dr. Taranchi, president of Iran's biggest university. Feridun Abbasi, top nuclear scientist, was also taken out. This is a massive blow to Iran's military and nuclear leadership.
Do you feel reminiscent like the Lebanese pager attack strike? Like this is another example of incredible Israeli proficiency in war?
Yes. Look how far they flew all the way to Iran and strategically took out 4 of the top people in their military and nuclear program. And that's just what we know about right now. Who knows what else?
Have you seen the videos of the rockets going into Tehran? There's like a wide angle lens.
Yeah, you can see, like, are you talking about the multiple missiles that you see coming down?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit look crazy.
What was the name of the military operation that Netanyahu said in the video? Do you remember?
It was like Lion, Freedom Lion, or some shit like this. I don't know. I have to find it again. Something with a lion in it.
So this is going to be like a multi-day strike. It's not just like a one-off. This is like going to be a system.
They declared war on them with this strike.
Yeah, 100%.
It's going to be at least 7 days.
At least. Do you know how long they've been bombing targets in Syria? That when the Iranians ship over weapons over there, they blow them up over there. That's been going on for years.
Yeah.
So that already was like a significant war going on, and the fact that Syria can't respond, Lebanon can't respond, Gaza can't respond, this is like a chess game. This is the fucking checkmate.
Exactly.
It's time to establish your state.
Do you think the price of Iranian rugs is going to skyrocket? I'm thinking about buying a couple pieces prior to the war expanding. I've recently invested in an Iranian carpet cleaning service because I know a lot of these people just shat all over the floor.
I'm sure you can get those for cheaper now.
I'm currently running ads in Tehrangeles in Beverly Hills for carpet cleaning and also laser hair removal services because we know a lot of these Iranians got a lot of fucking hair on their back. You know, I was actually going to go on a trip to Israel, but I was making jokes about how hairy Iranians are and how they should get laser hair removal, and they actually kicked me off the trip. She was like, "You're too immature. You can't make fun of Iranians' hair. Sorry, you can't come back to our free trip to Israel." I was like, "Oh, all right, I understand."
Did you guys go to Birthright? I'm going this summer.
Yeah, I did Birthright in 2002 with Shorashim, and it was on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and we met with a Palestinian, we met with an Israeli general, we met with all kinds of people.
So much happening in the world right now. Let's talk about what's relevant.
What do you mean? The war is already over.
That's it. One night and that's it.
It's like a fireworks show these days. They're so good at targeting.
When you see some of the pictures of the buildings, like you can see how precise they were with the targeting on the top. They only took out one floor on the top of the building, and that's it. And killed whoever they were trying to target. It was living in that building.
Did you see the strike in Lebanon last week? It's the same shit over there too. It's fire from above.
So many other pictures that they have taken down, like a whole building.
Yeah, but in those Alex, in those buildings that they targeted. It wasn't like regular civilians living in those buildings. Those are IRGC people living in those buildings. Anybody affiliated with IRGC gets to live in those type of buildings.
So there's
I've talked with other Iranians here, not on this app on X, and they know they're very informed of actually what's going on right now. They have people that are living there, they're on the ground there. So all this bullshit that Israel's killing innocent people in Iran now, it's all the narrative that they're gonna spin on Israel because everybody's fucking sour. Everybody's sour what's happening right now. Everyone's butthurt about it. It's okay.
Family, they're living like really close to those buildings. They're almost the same, so does that mean that
Did you call them and they're okay?
Yeah, of course they're okay.
Okay, so what is there for you to worry about then?
Because,
what is happening right now is not Israel's fault.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
Say he destroyed Israel. They bombed the embassy. They killed a bunch of Jews. They killed Iranian Jews. There was more than close to a million Jews used to live in Iran. Related to the force. Iranian people, they do not like this regime. Whatever happens, it's on their hands. They start here.
Exactly. Thank you, Farky. Thank you. Finally. My gosh. They also started by threatening Israel and the Western world with nuclear weapons, right? That's one thing you don't do. You don't threaten Israel with nuclear weapons, and then keep saying that you're going to keep building them when we're telling you not to build them. So the IRGC put themselves in this situation, and I don't feel bad at all. I'm actually happy because hopefully this will help the Iranian people, cause a revolution and get the shit sorted out already, and they can take control of their country again, and not let Islam take control of their country. Radical Islam. This is like the key handed to them. Like, here, take the key and, take the sword.
what do you have to cry about this? I want to tell you what Israel's showing you mercy because so much support to Iran. Just it was we could have really did much more, but we didn't. We had mercy. You have to understand.
In the name of operation,
the Islamic regime in occupying Iran is a threat to the existence of Israel. We need to destroy this Islamic regime. If you guys, unfortunately, I mean, you guys want to be free from this regime, but you guys haven't been capable of it, so we need to do this job. Okay? And it's not going to be pretty. Obviously, there's going to be casualty in wars anywhere, even in the Islamic regime. When, unfortunately, many Iranian people were through this job, there was many innocent casualties as well, right? So it's like you can't be like, oh, Israel, like, it is what it is. We're doing something that you're not capable of. You should think us later because this Islamic regime in Iran needed to be destroyed many years ago.
so you should be very happy this is happening right now. Netanyahu said, let me tell you what Netanyahu said to the Iranian people. Today he said to the Iranian people, the day of your liberation from tyranny is closer than ever. He also said to the Iranian people, okay. Well, he said something else, but I didn't find it. So you should be thanking us.
I think they're just so shocked about what happened, honestly. I was shocked too.
You know what?
Message me, you saw what I said.
This is gonna prove that they're a paper tiger.
Listen, I would actually waiting for this and hoping for this.
Destroyed the whole Middle East. Everywhere the Islamic regime went, destroyed it. Yemen, look at Iraq now. Look at Syria, Lebanon.
This is gonna prove they're a
That's on the hand of the Islamic regime in Iran.
This is gonna prove that Iran is a paper tiger. That the Iranian people don't actually want a sustained war, and that for the most part they're a peaceful people.
Pretty much every Friday and Shabbat, and we're talking about I would actually say that I won't prepare it like this, but I wasn't expecting something to everything to Iran. Okay? I was expecting something to the nuclear facility.
They did.
Yeah, they did. But
How much has the price of Fess in June skyrocketed?
So we're closer to peace in the Middle East than we've been in decades. I'm very happy that Israel is not taking any more half measures. It's doing what needs to be done.
Me too, Anthony. I think it's very important. America didn't want to step in, which I don't blame. It's really not America's battle. But you know, if something needed to be done, you don't threaten other countries with nuclear weapons. You don't let you don't let them the world not come in and do inspections on your nuclear facilities after you're threatening other countries with nuclear weapons. This had to be done, and that's what the government of Israel is saying. And I totally agree with them. So.
Do you think this is a regime change war, though?
I agree with you, Harry, completely.
Is this going to be a total regime change war? Because how do you know the Iranians don't actually have some type of suitcase bomb that they bought from some fucking KGB agent? So how can they actually prepare for all contingencies? It's impossible.
John, man, listen. You know, what you're talking about is fear-mongering. Israel is doing what it needs to do. Iran developing a nuclear bomb that could be, delivered via missile would be very destabilizing to the Middle East. It would be a horror show. Israel is doing what it needs to do to ensure their continued existence. I have no problem with what Israel is doing. I believe the United States supports them, but cannot necessarily come to, say it out loud. But when all the chips are down, we need to give Israel our 100% backing.
100%. I'm just playing the role of like a scientific experiment here on a social audio app, saying like, if this was a video game, I mean, you want to think about things outside the box. So it's like, if this is a total regime change operation, there's going to be so many variables that come up over the next 3 months. It's going to be a wild fucking 3 months. Because the Iranians, they have soldiers in Venezuela. I think tens of thousands of them. They may have sleeper cell agents that carry out indiscriminate attacks over the course of the next... if this is a war, it doesn't just end in a week. It goes on for quite a long time until, the grassland burns or until things settle down. But the zit has popped.
Any terrorist attack, bring the hammer to butt their asses. They're not going to do that. They try.
Exactly.
That can happen. They're not capable of such a thing. And they know it's going to be their consequences.
Well, the whole thing in Ukraine and Russia, I'm 42. We have all these nuclear weapons that we spent $100 billion on. Like, when is the biggest firework ever going to go off again? Is it just Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or can we anticipate 1, 2, or 3 nuclear detonations in our lifetime? And could it be in the next 3 months? Could it be in 12 months? I'm just saying, live life to your fullest, everybody.
John,
Iran is terrified of Israel. It always has been. You talk about saber rattling, the empire, the emperor has no clothes. They're selling wolf tickets. They are not really ready for what Israel is going to give. So what really needs to happen is the people of Iran need to rise up and overthrow what's left of their government when Israel's done with it.
Tulsi Gabbard, the head of the Department of National Intelligence, the DNI chief of the United States, said we're closer to nuclear war than ever before a day ago. She knew this attack was coming, and there was nothing they could do to stop it. All these people who got into the new government, who supposedly are peaceniks, they didn't prevent this. So this is I don't know. I mean, the anthill is moving frenetically. Like there's a lot of movement happening. So. I mean, it's escalating. It's
John, this wouldn't have happened if the Biden administration or Kamala was president. This would not have happened.
What do you think the Iranians can do? What do you think they can actually do?
I don't think they can do jack diddly squat, bro. They have some armed war planes. They have some missiles, but they're like 2 months behind it, bro. I have a couple of planes, bro. They have a couple of planes, but there's nothing that Israel can't handle. Israel is well equipped to handle whatever Iran throws at them. Iran fucked around and they found out. They kept on pushing.
It's all about nothing.
What are you talking about?
What is looking like right now?
What do you think Iran's going to do? What do you think Iran's going to do?
Nothing.
Really? I don't think so.
If they do something, they're going to shoot those rockets out of the sky like toothpicks. That's what they're going to do, just like they did before. We're ready before that attack even took place. No, you're not. Obviously, you know who wasn't ready? Iran wasn't ready. That's who wasn't ready. Hold on. You think the Iron Dome intercepts intercontinental ballistic missiles? Do you understand warfare? Do you understand any of the systems that Israel actually has? I think you're just reading to articles on TikTok or watching videos.
Israel will never allow.
Are you working with IRGC? Are you like the head of the IRGC?
Harry, don't scream over me.
I can scream if I want to. It's my room.
Okay, that's what you do. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm outside walking my dog, celebrating. I want to scream, and I'm excited as fuck. And you're crying here, and we're laughing at how stupid you sound.
When Iran gets, when Israel...
Hold on. The first thing you said was Israel can't do anything to Iran. Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? I'm walking you right now, yeah. I'm walking you.
You're my dog.
No, you're our dog. Don't worry. You always will sit under the foot of a Jew.
Harry,
You guys are always gonna sit under Israel's foot.
when
You guys are gonna come and cry.
Iran hits you, you'll be crying.
Iran hasn't hit us once. That's the funniest part about it.
Well, get ready for it.
Get ready for what? You guys got fun tonight.
Get ready.
We had 3 days.
It's nothing.
And you and
Nothing.
3 days that we're gonna
Pardon.
She's so delusional.
Iran does not attack like that. When Iran attacks, you get...
Yeah, how do you know? You sound like you're from England. How do you know?
Give me 5 seconds. I want to ask you a question. Go ahead. What happened the last time there was a conflict? What happened the last time there was a conflict between Iran and Israel? What happened when Iran went up in Israel, sovereign territory, and killed generals? What happened when what's happened? What has the response in Iran been? All the provocation. What's happened? I'm asking you, what has happened thus far? What are you suggesting is going to happen?
The collapse of Assad's murderous regime considered the peoples of those 2 countries now have a chance for a different future.
Listen, I understand you look mad at Trump did something that no one thought Israel could do because they think that Israel's weak and they think Israel are genociders, whatever they want to call Israel.
years.
Whatever the fuck, whatever your name is, I'm sorry to tell you, but go look at the news right now because I don't know within the last hour or two, but yeah, we fuck our ass back.
We will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons. Iran plans to end those weapons nuclear weapons. It's their responsibility. That would make the nightmare of nuclear terrorism all too real. The increasing range of Iran's ballistic missiles would bring that nuclear weapon to the cities of Europe and eventually Remember, Iran calls Israel the small C. It calls America the great C. And this is why for decades, it's led millions in the chance of death to Israel and death to America. Today, Israel is responding to those genocidal calls with action and with a call of our own. Long live Israel and long live America. Our action will help make the world a much safer place. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership in confronting Iran's nuclear propaganda. He has made clear time and again that Iran cannot have a nuclear enrichment program. Today, it is clear that Iran is just buying time. It refuses to agree to this basic requirement of peaceful nations. That is why we have no choice but to act, and act now. Anything of us to do is to thwart a danger before it is fully materialized. Nearly a century ago, facing the Nazis, a generation of leaders failed to act in time. They were paralyzed by the horrors of World War I. They were determined to avoid war at all costs, and they got the worst war ever. They adopted a policy of peace. They closed their eyes and ears to all warning signs. That failure to act resulted in World War II, the deadliest war in history. It claimed the lives of 60 million, including 6 million Jews, a third of migrants.
This is what happens when people are sour.
The Jewish people and the Jewish state.
They're sour. They're bad. It's okay. They can be sour.
Again is now. Today, Israel is shown. Oh, Jesus. When enemies vow to destroy you, believe them. When enemies build weapons of mass death, stop them. As the Bible teaches us, when someone comes to kill you, rise and act first. This is exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves. Over 3,000 years ago, Moses gave the people of Israel a message that has steeled their resolve ever since. Be strong and courageous, he said. Over 3,000.
So he's not wrong, right? So you mean that Yahoo is not wrong?
Hold on. Rise and act first. This is exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves. Over 3,000 years ago, Moses gave the people of Israel a message that has steeled their resolve ever since. Be strong and courageous, he said. Today, our strong and courageous soldiers and people stand together to defend ourselves against those who seek our destruction. And by defending ourselves, we defend many others, and we roll back the murderous tyranny. Generations from now, history will record. Alright, real quick, just to respond to TC, so, that was a crazy speech, I ain't gonna lie. And this is why we don't need celebrity leading us, because we don't got nobody in our community that stand on their feet. Like, even when they wrong, he know how to talk and play on the heartstrings on his people, bring up ancient history. He utilized the Iranian citizens by saying, hey, I know you were under a brutal dictatorship.
Yes. Of course they're going to go against the U.S. Of course. I'm telling you, the 500 is not also going to do exactly. Instead of what is a woman, we're going to have what is
you said? You was criticizing Benjamin Netanyahu. So before October 7th, I got you. All right. Before October 7th, there was like a judicial overhaul crisis where because they don't have a constitution in Israel. So they got like Knesset or something like that, right? So, I think they got a Supreme Court as well. So, Benjamin Netanyahu government proposed a series of like controversial reforms, basically aiming to like limit the power of Israel's Supreme Court, right? So when he did that, because he felt like it was, I think it was like too liberal. Because Benjamin Netanyahu is part of the Likud party. It's like they call it like the MAGA version of Israel, like right wing, it's in Jerusalem, whatever. Anyways, so prior to October 7th attack, they was like super divided because of this, right? They did a 9-month protest. Like it was mass nationwide protest for 9 months in Israel. They did all throughout Jerusalem, Israel. They had like a military intervention and all type of shit. Prior to the October 7th attack, he wasn't a real big fan in Israel. So TC was right about that. I just wanted to meet the check. But yeah, I don't know real quick. Let me just say this. Let me say this real quick. Please, let me just get, can I get 15 seconds? Oh no, wasn't it supposed to be chaotic? No. No,
I don't want to get in the middle of y'all, so.
Alan, but TC, Alan, TC, go. Alan, I'll be quick. Alan, let me go 20 seconds and I'm done. Yeah, go. 3 things. Number 1, very compelling. Bibi Netanyahu is very charismatic. There's a reason why he continues to lead his party is because he has a way with words. He can drive a narrative, and he's done so effectively over the last couple of years. Number 2, that does not discount and discredit the reality that since World War II and the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, atomic bombs and nuclear bombs have not been used. They are typically used as a deterrent to warfare. And for Israel to take a preemptive strike against Iran, claiming that its defense of Israel is the reason why they attacked preemptively, it brings credulity. And number 3, what I said was exactly what he just said, which was that he's correct. I mean, you cannot discredit what he's saying. Yes, Iran is enriching uranium to the levels that they will be able to basically put nuclear warheads on intercontinental ballistic missiles and potentially attack Israel. But that's the case with a lot of countries that are in conflict with each other. Pakistan has nuclear warheads. Iran has nuclear warheads. They're in an active conflict. Matter of fact, as recently as a couple months ago, about a month ago, they were engaged in a real, lethal combat. India, that's what I said. India and Pakistan, that's what I said. Both India and Pakistan have nuclear warheads. Neither one of them are used. So for him to use this as a justification for a preemptive strike against Iran it strains credulity, and it promotes the idea that Bibi Netanyahu is only interested in further entrenching his political relevance and keeping himself in power as long as possible to stave off criminal prosecution in Israel.
Now I'm gonna go respond.
I agree with that. All right. Hey, TT, quick question. Do you got vested interest? Because you said you do business in Israel. So are you mad at the war because of your personal interest?
Yes. The answer is yes. I have personal business interest in Israel. I am personally biased, yes.
Yes, thank you. All right, Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the first time Israel talked about Iran getting nuclear warheads was in 1992 by Yitzhak Rabin. And he said they're 3 to 5 years away from getting. We've been hearing Israel talk about Iran getting
Where they said that they had counterintelligence inside Iran that was successful. So they already they didn't know that certain places were gonna get hit. They knew certain places were, but they killed top officials at the same damn time. And
Yeah, they took out their missile program. Exactly. Oh, that's Jay. What's up, Jay?
Hello.
Hello.
Are you awake? Hello. Has Connor spoken lately or no? You awake?
She's typing in the chat.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you good. You good?
Of course. They're good over there. They're chilling. They're about to drink coffee, have some fucking breakfast, and enjoy the morning. Confession home,
time is it, Hannah?
It's 5:30.
Did the red alert stop? Or is it still going?
I don't know. It was one time to wake us. To start a war.
Think that a country of 8 million people would determine the fate of the entire world. I'm sorry, if you're Jewish, if you're from Israel, you are not that important.
Do expose the hits
You
on
really
nuclear
are.
facility in Iran.
And in
Just
fact, as an American,
Yeah,
what I
Americans
would
are
say to that other Israel,
You know, it's a full moon tonight, guys. There's a reason for it,
was
right?
the fact
Everything happens on
that
full
I'm
moon.
tired of paying for these conflicts.
This is it.
Iran and
All that's the U.S. or
and
Israel,
all
so.
the
I think, I think it was very timely, very concerning to know what Iran was doing.
has
They would
got
prefer
far
to do
too
it
positive,
without likes
and
to
we'd
help
be
them.
better off as Americans
And
dealing with India.
yeah, but when you're like 50 or 60,000 feet in the air, I guess it doesn't really matter at that point, right?
Dealing with anybody else.
No, they're not.
Except Israel. I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's only just one of the 4 people that we know right now. I mean, who knows how many other people got taken out for it? There could be plenty more.
Just one updates real quick.
Look, he has the whole fucking top of the apartment building to himself.
Interesting. That's the head scientist?
Other top military officials
Can you put in the link in the chat?
also targeting strikes on key nuclear enrichment facilities at
Yeah, I want to post this someplace else.
Martin, I saw the guy, one of the guys' name was Feridun Abbasi, top nuclear scientist. He was also killed.
Operation
site.
Also, breaking news, oil prices.
Yeah, their whole nuclear program is done. That's it, man. You don't have scientists to do it? Like, who's gonna do it? That's crazy. You can have all the resources you want, but if you don't have any scientists, you're not even gonna be able to make nuclear weapons.
I'm a little like,
And you know what? Iran doesn't just use nuclear reactors for their war machine. Israel uses nuclear energy. Iran used nuclear reactors for nuclear energy. So the fact that they're targeting their entire nuclear program is crazy to me, because we know that the #1 output of energy in countries like Iran is nuclear energy. So that's just like to use this as a justification to hit all of their nuclear sites and their nuclear scientists. It is just go ahead.
Hey, TC, let me ask you a quick question. When Iran, how many military
Hundreds, thousands. Indiscriminately.
Okay, when Israel struck at Iran, was it strategic and targeted or indiscriminate?
Strategic and targeted.
Do you see the difference?
Iran released a statement saying that Israel
Right, I know you're not doing that, but do you see the difference in the mentality of the regime that would indiscriminately launch missiles? Okay.
Yeah, they said, I heard you read that earlier, but,
focuses on
so
specific.
yeah, I don't think anybody here is too worried about that.
But you have to understand, and again, I'm a big supporter of
That's just enough. That's just enough.
Let me respond to you. And I'm a big supporter of Israel. I'm not a supporter of Netanyahu. You have to understand, each time that Iran sent missiles into Israel, Israel preemptively attacked Iran. Okay, that's a big point.
No, I missed that point. I asked you whether it was targeted or indiscriminate.
Disingenuous. Iran struck military infrastructure only. And this will be
No, Iran didn't do that.
The thing is, they've been planning this stuff for a while, and they're calling it military program. There was reports about them trying to take down like Iranians' yesterday, I think it was like about aircraft that was flying over Iran. Yeah, I don't know.
true was, but now it's making sense. And in the United States,
So why don't you answer the question? Why don't you answer the question?
100% believe that in the United States,
The more than 300,
answer
answer the question. Answer the question.
or whatever it was.
Answer the question then. Let's check your credibility. The more than 300 ballistic missiles that Iran launched towards Israel, were they targeted or were they indiscriminately launched towards Israel?
Turn to Kuban.
They were targeted. They were targeted. That is a never. Okay, so which one is it? It doesn't matter. They were targeted.
It says that they were indiscriminate. I don't think we have to dispute this.
Right, exactly. Okay.
Consensus that it was indiscriminate.
Okay, so like I said, it's acknowledged, okay? It's contrary to Fan's Judah, they were launched indiscriminately. So, hold on, almost done. So, I was on the contract. Israel choose specific target
You say you spoke up this
and in order to achieve a very specific objective. Whether you like it or not, that's the facts. Iran, on the other hand, okay, when they launched more than 300, I want you all to think about the logic behind they launched 300 specifically targeted ballistic missiles as if they possess that capability with their targeting system. I want y'all to think about that. Okay, I'm going in.
Can I go after you, Dean?
America, I haven't seen America official site. And it literally funded the actors of.
Not that they're gonna attack America, but they declared war on America. So, I don't know.
Regime, Hezbollah.
You know, I don't know how true it is, but I'm sure they're pissed off.
By Iran.
Bro, we didn't even do anything to them.
The paths, like
Yeah, you guys, yeah, we did. We're Americans. That's what it is. That's all we have to be.
Remember
You ended those. You're not Muslim.
I'm gonna go grab my Mexican flag and go protest.
I think it's the Nigerian motherfucker. Alright, real quick,
My friend, grab her!
real quick,
Are we celebrating? Are we celebrating?
Actually, like, cause I see a lot of tweets and stuff. Yo, I got a question. So, what's the worst country in Europe prior to we spent over $200 million to help Ukraine.
And then he went back.
And Israel is a way better ally. We benefit way more than
You can't treat the clubhouse.
Can we agree with that?
No, they were approved 2 hours ago now.
So, we benefit more. Wait. So, there are people that say we benefit more from our ally with Ukraine than Israel. Can you break that down?
I can't agree with that because
Wait, break down.
We did already. You missed that.
Ukraine is kind of like
freedom war. It's not talking about
I'm talking about freedom war. In Crimea.
What? You know what? No, let the idiots speak. Because I'm not doing that tonight. I'm literally not. Listen to the chat GPT videos because they got it.
I'm no issues for that. Okay.
We love you and Jack.
I am literally fucking driving. What the hell?
May I just answer the question? Because your question was pretty clear. This is hilarious. So again, even prior to what's going on now, right? There was the issue with Crimea, which I actually still blame Barack Obama for, but I don't think that he would have been able to get past whatever was happening with the Republicans to properly stop Russia. So sometimes the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't think that we really have a vested interest in the Ukraine. However, when it comes to the soil, the minerals, just the rich, lush land that represents Ukraine, if we recall when Russia invaded Ukraine, that's actually what disrupted the market in 2022. It wasn't COVID, right? Had we not decided around that time to invade Ukraine, what happened with the pipeline, even though I personally think that Russia blew it out, but we don't really know what happened. That's actually what caused the gas prices to go up. A lot of the fertilizer, the ingredients that contribute to fertilizer, are actually imported from Ukraine. So Ukraine is very strategic to us. Plus, it is always going to be a sword in Russia's side because we know that the United States represents the West. Even after the Cold War, Russia continues to be a huge problem. Just for the United States in general, and I really don't think it's ever going to go away. Right? They're always going to come after us, whether it is blatant or not. And quite frankly, to kind of have Ukraine step up to survive, contrary to them we sent all of this money to Ukraine, we literally sent them the equivalent of just old gas weapons that we don't even use anymore, right? It's like
2 days, 3 days, 1 week.
Russia? When has Russia come after us? When has Russia come after the United States? Have you forgotten the Cold War, or are you just too young to remember that? Like seriously, what are you talking? You want to talk about? No, but it's fine. You want to talk about the arms race? You want to talk about the? Are you forgetting about Sputnik? Like, oh my God. I'm sorry. I take pauses in my thought, right? Because so anywho, I'm sorry, that was just McCarthyism. I'm sorry, that was just a hard question. So anywho, I think that because let's put it this way, there are countries that would line up in the Middle East to basically take Israel's place. We don't really have such an option when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. We could replace Israel snap of our fingers, right? Because Saudi Arabia really just cares a lot of money. They don't really give a shit about anything, which is why Saudi is very strategic. They did deals with Kushner, they did deals with Trump. Saudi is going to do deals with whoever wants to pay to play. That's basically Saudi, right? They're not getting in the middle of the bullshit. Saudi Arabia just want their Lamborghini over their money and their wealth, whatever, right? So Israel is really, we can replace them at any moment in time, right? They're not that special in my perspective. I think Ukraine is much more strategic, and plus, and I hate to agree with what's his name. They really just take our money now. They're always having us in some shits, and I just don't think that alliance is as strong anymore. And now we literally have an American president who is using anti-Semitism as a reason to go against U.S. institutions, U.S. enterprises. Like I don't really like that. To the world, it looks like we're being punched, and that's a very, very dangerous thing to do with the United States when we are so susceptible to pretty much 99% of the world coming against us at any point in time. That's my perspective.
Yeah, this is so weird. Hold on, let DC respond to that.
No foreign policy buff in the entire country would repeat what Mickey just said. She said America can replace Israel in the Middle East with Saudi Arabia? Are you serious? Wait, bro. This is crazy. Not only does Israel have the strongest military in the Middle East, they have the most reliable intelligence apparatus in the Middle East. The Mossad is the envy of the world when it comes to intelligence. America relies on Israeli intelligence for operations in the Middle East. And we're going to replace Israel with Saudi Arabia? Israel has 3 times the military might of Saudi Arabia. Okay? So that's just crazy. Number 2,
Is not Ukraine at the buffer against Russia? It's NATO. Have you ever heard of this alliance in Europe? Have you ever heard of this?
If you scream after you, Russia! Don't ever do that. Ever do that high level shit.
Have you ever? Hold on, don't leave me. Russia! Don't leave me. All right, so have you ever heard of this thing called NATO? Maybe NATO has a little thing to do with why Russia can't fuck with the United States of America, right? This is just folly. Nobody was no serious person with serious foreign policy chops would ever say what Mickey just said. I'm done.
Hey, I'm about to grab
I have a comment.
Anybody cut off the squabble, you get shot. I'm gonna let everybody know right now. Anybody ad-lib cut off, I'm shooting you. Let the squabble go. Continue.
So I have a question for TC. How long has the United States been paying Israel and pretty much
Decades.
Since 1947?
Exactly. So the point that I'm trying to make is, and this is actually kind of funny since DC just kind of went on this grandiose discussion about how the U.S. dominates in economy, the U.S. dominates in GDP, and the U.S. dominates in commerce. So again, are you substantiating then that it was not the great and mighty United States that pretty much substantiated Israel and made it into the country that it is today? And are you really saying that we couldn't choose Saudi Arabia and do the same fucking thing that we did to Israel? Because like you said, sir, we have been giving them money and paying for their shit since 1947. It's time to take Israel off of our titties and go and make another strong country. So it's interesting to me, Lou, and everybody else, that on the one hand, you have somebody who just praised the United States dominance and admitted that they literally are biased in terms of Israel, right? Because, hey, I would want to do business in Saudi with those fucking billionaires than Israelis who are literally trying to bomb everybody. But, hey, what do I know about money, business, the economy, commerce, or the dollar dominance? But we're going to just leave that for next, right? Big bank always overtakes little bank. I would get that shit in Saudi if I was anybody. But you know what? I'm just going to mute on that. So, yes, and who wants to join NATO? And who literally started this shit? But are you forgetting that we currently have a United States president that is against NATO? Trump doesn't like NATO. Didn't he want to remove us from NATO? So it's interesting once again that you're going to mention NATO as a buffer when the man that you voted for, amen and hallelujah, says NATO is full of shit and wants to leave them. So I stand and we can move the mic around. I'm done.
No. We're not gonna let you get away with lies. Okay, we're gonna fact check you. Okay, Trump never said he wants to get away from NATO. What Trump said is that if NATO doesn't pay up and meet their minimum GDP defense spending threshold, that he would threaten to leave NATO. Okay, you don't need to do a ChatGPT search to know that Trump never vowed to leave NATO. And what actually ended up happening after he levied that threat? Over 90% of the countries in NATO started to meet those GDP threshold defense spending, met those thresholds. So actually what Donald Trump did was he provoked those countries to contribute to their national defense spending relative to their GDP. So that was an effective strategic move by the Trump administration, and it worked. But number two, the American government subsidizes countries all around the world. South Korea, Singapore, India, multiple countries. Israel, of course, one of the largest beneficiaries of Israel. But even in Africa.
No, but they're not being subsidized. There's a trade deal. So
hold on. Yeah, I mean, call it whatever you want to. There's plenty of trade deals. There's plenty of subsidy. America does subsidize Israel. Let's just be honest. America provides a lot of weapons for Israel. So you would essentially call that subsidies to Israel. Biden did it. Obama did it. Bush did it. But again, that's a part of our strategic reliance on Israel to be a military benefactor for the U.S. in the Middle East. Do you guys remember what happened when we were struck on 9/11? How Israel came to our aid? Are you guys kidding me? There's a reason why America has been allies with Israel for as long as we have, and we continue to be Israel's longest and strongest supporter.
is because America relies very heavily on the Israeli intelligence and the Mossad to provide protection for American interests in the Middle East. And peace in Israel and its neighbors is very much vital to America's economic proliferation in the Middle East. So again, I don't know what she's talking about, but one mic on her, and I'll give her the last word.
So once again, take away the funding, and what do you have? Israel cannot stand alone. Whereas Saudi Arabia, because as someone earlier mentioned, they ended the 50-year petrodollar agreement. Saudi Arabia is just like the United States. They don't give a fuck about anything except money, right? So again, like I said, when you have an American president, because again, everybody forgets Trump's first administration. In his first administration, he repeatedly attacked NATO. Repeatedly, right? He said they weren't paying enough money, but here's the problem. When you run everything just like Diddy did for decades, he paid everybody to basically be his bitch, okay? When you run shit, when you have the money, you dictate what the fuck is going to happen. By the way, which is how the United States got into the position that it did. Do you really think that we're benevolent and kind? You really think that we didn't substantiate Israel just because we cared about the Jewish people? Or maybe you thought the Bible had a piece of involvement in there. So like I said, he who controls the bank controls the bitches, right? So when you make everybody else bow down to you, that was Trump's problem, because he's never been the man in charge of the bitches. He's had to pay the old hoes just like Stormy, right? So when we were running NATO, we dictated what the fuck happened because we were bankrolling everything. You notice that we didn't really start to have a lot of these goddamn problems until Trump was in office? If you really want to pay attention, if you really want to go there, no, of course not, May I fucking finish? Seriously, I don't need your help, whoever is speaking. I really don't need your help. I didn't ask for it, neither am I substantiating it. You didn't even remember Sputnik in the Cold War, sir. You're about 32 years old. I don't really need you to hush. Because y'all don't remember, because nobody's doing a damn TikTok about it, how much the Cold War and the Russian threat was. How we even had to raise to who was even going to fucking get up in space with them, right? Like it was, that shit was a major fucking problem. We thought they were going to bomb our ass at any goddamn moment. Russia and the United States went back and forth. We didn't even know if we were fucking going to go to head, which is why we had to disable them. But guess what? Putin is a KGB-trained assassin, right? We are never going to disregard that motherfucker. He is probably one of the 3 most dangerous men in the entire world. I would also put Elon in there, but that's just my opinion. So like I said, where is the fucking threat? What is Iran going to do to the United States? Not a goddamn thing. What is Iran going to do to Saudi? Not a goddamn thing. What the fuck does Russia want to do? Take out the entire goddamn West. This is an old-ass war. Old-ass war. We are literally just paying Israel at this point just because we've been doing it, right? And we can't even disassociate ourselves from them. Again, this is my perspective. And I'm about to go get a snack, so y'all continue to chat GPT, argue, or just
Hold on, brother. Hold on, let me do a vote. Because y'all don't supposed to be cutting off back and forth. Alright, put a gun emoji in the chat if you feel like Israel is more of a strategic partner than Ukraine. Put a brain emoji in the chat if you feel like Ukraine is more of a strategic partner than Israel. I think it's Israel. I don't think it's Israel. Because even if we look at the Jewish contributions to the United States, as far as like the Nobel Peace Prize, scientific technology, they've done more for the United States than all the Arab countries, all Arab Americans, Ukrainians are combined. So I mean, I guess. And we know 90% of Jewish Americans are pro-Israel.
look in the chat. Look, it's not even close, bro. I do this.
Yeah, BBC again.
Of course, because Clubhouse is known for being well
I
versed
thought
in
you were
your
gonna go get a
politics.
drink.
Sure.
Snack.
I said a snack.
That's a good argument. All right, let's pass it to, I want to talk to you guys. Hold on, because I got to pass it to you guys asking Israel. Is any Iranians in here? Put one in the chat if you're from Iran. All right, let's talk to Black Rabbi. Black Rabbi, how you doing? He lives in Israel. He's a dual citizen of America. He's Black American. He's raised Orthodox rabbi.
Jay Bresco's gonna fuck with me.
Personally. So this is his brother.
how you feel about what just happened? Netanyahu speech and the topic. Yes, brother.
We did. We did. Who we? Oh, 13. Yeah, probably should have hit.
So when we talk about supporting Israel, Israel is helping this front line of creating this consolidated Middle East, right? Where you look at even the whole situation in Gaza, like we hear Trump's initiative saying like, hey, if you want, we're going to turn this into a freedom zone. Strategic, in that area, you're looking at now Gaza now returns to a freedom zone and now be Jordan, Israel, now with Syria changing their behavior, right? And getting the leadership and repenting, right? And joining the code now, Syria. So we're talking about a new unified Middle East. People don't realize how much resources Israel shares with Jordan in terms of water, electricity, same thing with Egypt. So even though we may hear a lot of rhetoric of fighting and disengagement, but underneath that there's a lot of business. So America, partnership with Israel is not only to Israel, but it's in the region. And then places. So you guys realize that a lot of people right now in the world is a proxy war with America, right? That's being expressed in the Middle East, right? Just as Russia is China sending, a bunch of Iranian infrastructure is funded by Iran, right? When you look at what Iran, look at Africa, look at Nigeria, it's training the soldiers, the militant Islamic groups in Africa to kill Christians, to kill other Muslims and other groups. So that's Hezbollah, right? That's one of Iran. So I just going into just a few points to understand that it's not just Israel, America, and so all these countries are in partnership. There's a resistance that's happening that is not for peace, and that's what Iran represents. Exactly.
Let's pass it to do anybody disagree about Pastor D Gray and this?
No, we don't want peace. No one ever said that. That's what someone else said on this app who's about to start talking. You don't realize, like I said, the United States has never been benevolent and kind. And for all the people saying we're giving away a lot of money to Ukraine, U.S. aid to Israel is the largest cumulative recipient of U.S. foreign aid since World War II. Everything that you guys are saying, Israel does this, and Israel takes care of Jordan, and Israel does this. We have fucking funded them. We've literally created them. And you want to go there, kind of like Japan. Japan did not have any. See, this is when my conservative bag comes in. Do you know how many countries the U.S. has literally puppetized, subverted, funded, created, gotten rid of dictators we didn't want, all for just because we fucking could? Because they could be a potential threat? Because we do pay them to be a potential ally? Right? Remember like what happened with Gaddafi, Lou? You're always talking about that, right? Why didn't we want anything to go down in Africa that would remotely even assist in them becoming strong arming themselves? Because it doesn't fucking benefit us. So when I listen to people, and it's fine, because what I realize is that American propaganda that you learned in the history books literally has you thinking that the United States is really this benevolent and kind country, and we just give funding out of the goodness of our hearts. Did somebody mention that Israel gives water to Jordan? Do you really think we give a fucking people in Jordan have water or not? We have people in this country that don't even fucking have water. Do you really think we give a shit about that? What we give a shit about is making Israel look like the bad guy, which, by the way, Lou, You even hear it on this app. People hate the Jews. Never even really encountered anybody like that bringing up old ass propaganda. Jewish people are horrible. Who do you think has helped to substantiate that narrative? Do we really want to go back to J.P. Morgan, Pierpoint Chase, and the real families behind that basically the bankers that subsidized and funded World War I and World War II? Do you think that those were foreign bankers? Were those bankers from Israel? No, those were American bankers. And do you want to know why? I know Bubbles knows. $10 cash out to the person that can answer the question for me. Why would you think that the United States, and how did we get to be the #1 GDP in the world in such a short period of time, being such a fledgling country? What is the #1 thing that is guaranteed to fill your coffers if you either supply the weaponry or you an instigator in the shit? It's a 3-letter word. War. Jay Hudson, send me in that channel with your cash out. It is war. And what is one thing, and I really am going to go get my snack, and what is one fucking thing that the United States is good at, whether it's a proxy war, whether we're upfront on the shit, whether we fund the shit, or whether we supply the weaponry? What is the United States we best at? War.
We got somebody from Iran here. Someone in the chat from Iran. Even though I'm from, even though I'm pro-America, and I fuck with Israel, this is on my stage, alright?
So, Mickey is strong at the argument. No one is arguing the U.S. was benevolent nature. No one's arguing that. No black people also, yes, there's a change in front when it comes to policy. And as we saw with Trump's recent visit to the region, he's becoming more amicable with these Muslim nations, these middle-east countries. Remember, he was against the I thought they were lost leadership, allegedly, because I don't know what's going on now. He also signed weapons deals. Those are different in Saudi Arabia, these different countries. And
This could be a quick attack, or
also have certain geopolitical desires they want to advance, particularly some resolution to the Israel-Palestine issue, right? And Trump's on board with that, theoretically. And he knows that.
Breaking news, oil prices up 12%.
No problem. And he shows that Yahoo is competitive to that, right? And listen, I understand Saudi Arabia runs along sordid history of contention, but I don't believe Saudi Arabia wants to see Iran be thrown into destabilization by an all-out war. That doesn't benefit anyone in the region. So, said yes. It does.
Shit. This could be a quick attack, or is it the first thing? It might also be a volcano. It doesn't snap erupting. Who knows? Maybe we'll be
Let me finish.